Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. We're going to take another look at Fantom. And before we do, we usually look at Bitcoin, but we're going to go ahead and summarize quickly here. Stuck between 47 and 48,000, holding over support at 46. So, pretty much all good, normal, typical Bitcoin behavior, especially considering today's the last day of the year. Okay, so interesting stuff if you were to dissect it, but not that compelling compared to coins like this, right? Now, if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, just love teaching people how to trade, my goal is to help you become a better trader. Just plain and simple. I do this every single day for work. This is my job, and I can tell you that I just love helping people get where they need to go financially. So check out my my community, if you will, when you get a chance, of course. And I do actually have a trading academy I'm rolling out with next month as well. So it's a really awesome experience there. Kind of help teach you from start to finish, right? So again, check that out. That's available to current premium members. Okay. Now looking here at Fantom. First thing to understand is that we had a pretty significant increase here recently, which is awesome. And there's a slight trail off, of course, but that was due to Bitcoin kind of correcting itself recently as well. Okay, so we can tell that it's probably going to leg up again soon based on the fact that it's kind of gearing up, so to speak, bounced off a major support level of $2.10 and has been doing very well in the last 24 hours. It just kind of got this little correction that happened with Bitcoin selling off by, about 1,000 or 1,500. It sold off fast and quick, and that does concern a lot of altcoins, right? They tend to dump when that happens. So just note that this correction here today is not bad. Allows us to get a better buying opportunity, and I think that's going to show us that we have pretty good situation here with Fantom. So still good value. Now taking a look at the moving averages, we got the 250-day moving average working below the price action. That's excellent. RSI bounced off of 70 essentially, which makes sense considering it was a bit on the overextended side, and that natural correction from Bitcoin with that resistance level at $2.32. So all good things here. We didn't even come down to 50 in the RSI. It pretty much bounced right off around 60, which is awesome because basically it just tells us we have this nice bullish continuation, and we didn't need to leg down to the next major Fibonacci retracement level of 192. We essentially made 210 our bottom. That's awesome. A lot of other coins went down a lot further than this. So this is a really good sign. Tells you there's probably pretty good fundamentals there in that sense because of the fact that we have that strong bounce. We can also see a continuation off the 50-day simple moving average on the 4-hour chart. So it worked as a nice little support level to drive the price back up. So we got some really good things working in our favor here. We're up over 50 on the RSI, and we had a MACD convergence, albeit slowed down. It kind of stunted its growth, so to speak, with that correction from Bitcoin today. That's still doing very well, right? So that is essentially a buy signal to go along. It's according to a swing trade, right? So if you're a swing trader and you're going to use only one indicator on the 4-hour chart, more specifically, the MACD would be the best one to use. Helping you understand that when the price intersects in an upward fashion, the 12 intersects with the 26 in an upward fashion, essentially, that tells us that the bears have lost control and the bulls are taking control. So we can kind of confidently note that we're on the right side of the tracks, right? Because if you're going to take a long position, you want to be on the side of the bulls. Okay, that's basically what it's telling us. So let's see if the ISHIMGO cloud tells us a similar story. Price is above the cloud, awesome. We are free and clear of any price action, and of course we have the conversion line above the baseline. So pretty much Fantom is telling us that we have a buy signal on all fronts. This is kind of a double rainbow. These are things that I like to look for to essentially give me the confidence to get in, right? The only caveat here is the fact that we do have a resistance, of course, at 232. So if we cannot break that resistance level, then we might eventually get a sell signal when the lagging span intersects with the price action. Because again, the price would need to come up and above in order for us to see that lagging span clear of the price action here, therefore leaving our position open. Okay. Now it's not to say you just have to close this because, hey, I've got a long-term swing trade, right? What do? You don't bother with this. This is more intraday. I would say this is probably going to be more impactful within the next couple of days versus weeks or months. Okay. And if that's the case, and you want to kind of understand the big picture, you'd want to look at the 4-hour chart here and wait, of course, because the ISHIMGO cloud is beneficial on the 4-hour chart too, even though I teach it primarily in the 1 hour. It's still effective on the 4-hour chart, depending on your goals, right? If you're doing a long-term swing trade, use the 4-hour chart. Right now, we don't have that signal, but you can see the conversion lines breaking above the baseline, and the lagging span is potentially going to be free of some price action here in a few more days. So we'll have that signal here soon from Fantom, but for right now, ultimately, we're looking very, very good on all time frames. So we can check the boxes on pretty much everything. I think Fantom's a good buy right now. There's really nothing much else to note. Only thing else I want to look at, of course, is just to see if we have any kind of exhaustion. We hit an 8 and we got a reset. It's on its way down. So we could potentially see the price come down a little further. I don't think it's going to come all the way down to 210, but it could come down to just say right in the range of about 218 and bounce, because that's the previous high based on the 9 candlestick there for TD sequential. So ultimately, what we're looking at here, first of all, in case you don't know, I'm sorry, the TD sequential is a really good indicator of telling us if there's exhaustion. So when you hit a 9, you see this kind of highlights in neon, then it's usually going to turn around in the near future after that, right? So we got 2 candlesticks after that, and then it continued to progress upwards. We hit a 9 here, consolidated, continue sideways. We got a reset here to 1, and now we're up to an 8, and it's coming back down. So we have potential, right? I guess it isn't guaranteed, but there's potential for the price to come down 6 more hours, right? That's the sentiment. That's kind of the idea. And that's the great thing about it, is it really helps you understand, you know, when there's been continuation too far in one direction, okay? So we usually see a retrace or a consolidation at that point. So we could effectively see some type of consolidation right around 218 or 220, or perhaps, you know, a higher low and higher high, right? Because this is looking good here. As long as this next low isn't lower than, you know, 218, somewhere in that range, we're going to be making some pretty good shape here. So again, all good things here for Fantom. I literally don't see anything negative or adverse. In fact, what we want to probably do here is redraw this out and kind of understand a little bit more about the potential for the upside. So if we're to look at Fantom and understand kind of where it could get or could be here in the near future, and let's take a look at this here. First of all, on December 21st, 10 days ago, the price has jumped up from bottom to top, right? So lowest point to highest point here in the recent past, last 10 days, we've got a 95% increase. So we're going to expect that same kind of increase, which would effectively be a 47% increase, or actually more, probably a little larger, right around 50% as a round number. To get that 50% increase from where the price action is at right now, we're going to expect the price to be somewhere in the range of 375 within the next 10 days. When I say expect that, that's potential. Is it realistic? Probably not, because we need a little bit more consolidation beforehand, and of course we need Bitcoin to effectively, you know, get a little more consistent, right? If we get a little more consistency from Bitcoin, perhaps even, you know, a slow, steady increase, higher highs and higher lows instead of this kind of these peaks and valleys, then Fantom will definitely take off, and we'll see that in 10 days. But if it's realistic there in the sense that we could see a consolidation phase for a little bit longer from Bitcoin, then Fantom will effectively hit this target within about 2 or 3 weeks. So this is definitely a good potential coin here. I would recommend adding to your position. It's got great potential. I get a lot of requests on it too, so I know the community is growing, and I'd recommend, of course, getting in if you haven't already. It's not past its prime. If that makes any sense. It's got plenty of room for growth, and I think we're going to expect some good stuff from it. So I hope you had a good learning experience here. Of course, comment below if you do. If you want to learn more, of course, become a better, more effective trader. I got a very good hands-on experience rolling out with my trading academy near the end of January, essentially, and just helping you become better traders, right? So everyone's had a positive experience so far. Definitely consider joining and taking a look at that. That is available to all of my current CryptoCache Premium members. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.